Welcome travelers from the winding trails. Grab a spot by the hearth and a pint of ale. A brief respite from our noble quest. Lean back in a chair for the Song of Rest. Hello travelers and welcome to the Song of Rest, a place where our heroes and the deities that guide them gather to share a behind-the-scenes and behind-the-screens look at the unfolding adventures in Archipeldia. Gathered before us is our dungeon master, Aaron Rollins, and his band of players, Janelle Wilke, Chad Stafford, and Ben Holland. But I'll let them do the talking, and I'll get back to playing.
Hey, welcome officially to the podcast, Ben, aka Thrig, aka Best Blue Beefy Boy.
Boy!
Best blue beefy boy.
You son of a bitch.
Finally got you into a canon episode, Ben. So welcome.
Thank you.
I definitely wanted to kind of talk about Thrig's origin, but it's your character, so I'll leave you to the storytelling.
Yeah, so this is actually, funny enough, the second time that I've played Thrig. The kind of the genesis of the character is Aaron and I were teaching our kids how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we started a campaign with them. And so I wanted to make a character that showed these two kids that had like never role played or never played a game like this before, that D&D wouldn't be all just like combat and like I love Lord of the Rings, but it wasn't all like Lord of the Rings, big quests and fantasies. It could be goofy and it could be fun and it could be silly. And Thrig is all of those things. He's a big beefy boy, and he was so fun to play. And when you're making two 12-year-olds laugh constantly, it's a really fun character, right? And that was all that character was. And when Aaron approached me about playing a breakbattleroll, and I was like, what do you think about, and he finished it for me. He goes, you're just going to play Thrig? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, just do that.
I mean, that's funny because we are three 12-year-olds that you're playing for. So yeah, it's perfect.
And funny enough, Thrig in the other campaign, he's a paladin. He's not even a barbarian. He doesn't have like the giant stuff background. That was all stuff that we kind of added in to make him kind of new and fun. But yeah, he's a blast. He's one of my favorite characters I've ever made, just because you'll learn a lot more about him, but there's not a lot of like traumatic backstory with Thrig. He's not a typical D&D character.
I don't know. The first episode was kind of his traumatic backstory. This episode was his traumatic backstory.
Yeah, he might have one now.
They're there.
He might have one now, but like he's different than anyone I've ever played. He's wholesome and he's kind and he's a big boy. He's tall like Ben actually is. It's an analog for me to him.
Yeah, he's such a big teddy bear that playing with the kids, it made them laugh and have more fun. Like, just with this goofy, character that's traveling with them. It was actually a lot of fun showing the kids how to play D&D. They ended up doing so much non-combat stuff, like they became best friends with like the innkeeper.
Yep.
And started baking cakes with her.
We had to go like
throwing birthday parties
and save people. But they're like, no, we want to cook everybody breakfast and then sing them songs. Because it's because they're both tabaxi bards, or one's a druid, cute. But they both had to be tabaxis. They wanted to be cat. It's fun. So it was a great way to teach kids to play D&D, and having a big dumb idiot on their side was a good way to do it. And also Thrig.
That's adorable.
I was laughing so hard at when he was like, me Thrig, and you're like, is it Thrig or is your name Mithrig? And he's like, Mithrig. Like, okay, it's Mithrig.
I was not gonna let you get away with that. I was just like, nope, I'm gonna keep going.
Cool. Me.
My favorite is he's such a big, imposing character, but he's so soft spoken, which I think is really like adorable.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the fun of him, is because like he's massive, so he doesn't need to be loud too.
When we kept saying how big of a boy he was, I kept thinking back to Chad, one of your old YouTube channels, the Super Geek Friends, when you and Caitlin go up to Dr. Robotnik's chair in Sonic DX. And Caitlin's like, that's a big chair. And you're like, I'm a big boy. And I just kept thinking about that throughout the entire episode.
The chair in that game is like 3 times Robotnik's size. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a platform. It's not a chair. It's a full platform. And it has to be powered by locomotive engines to move forwards and backwards.
Fantastic.
So that's Thrig's chair now.
That's Thrig's chair.
Yeah.
He earned it.
Talking about him being a big boy, I mean, Thrig actually has a power that when he rages, he grows to a bigger size. So, like, in miniature terms, you guys are all taking up a one little 5x5 square. When Thrig rages, he's taking up
a large creature.
4 squares. He's taking 10 by 10.
That's specifically a 4 square wide.
We call that a 4 orc.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fork.
A fork.
He's not a half orc anymore. He's a quad orc.
That's a massive fork.
It's very different. It's very rare. Yeah, a quark.
A quirk.
Quork.
A quark.
Yeah. I'm going to stick him with a fork because he's done.
Yeah.
I love, like, Timothy preemptively, I preemptively rolled for my strength before Timothy legitimately cast the spell.
Oh, so funny.
And you're just like, wait, what just happened?
Well, and if you had hit your shocking grasp, I don't know. I mean, you already had muscles. If you do lightning too, just like him, he just might fall in love. That might be a problem because it's like muscles and lightning. He's like, he's never met anybody else who could do that besides him. Or he might take it as a challenge. You never know.
Well, yeah. No, Thrig destroyed in that battle.
Muscles and lightning, very, very frightening me. Hallelujah.
Yeah, Timothy and Flowerkraut, all being as squishy as they were like, we're gonna just shoot from way over here.
Hey, I gave it the good old college try, but after taking like 20 damage on it, 1 hit, I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's great.
I do love the idea of Flowerkraut being this old lady that's shredded. But her face still has wrinkles in it because it has to be what it is. It's the funniest image.
Oh yeah. Yep. Just raisin with suddenly very shredded arms.
And for some reason, even though your outfit didn't have it before, now all your abs are showing for some reason. Yeah.
Sleeveless.
Just in that moment, sleeveless abs, all completely changed. Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's some art for you, Janelle.
Okay, perfect.
Shredded Flowerkraut.
I need to see. That is my fan art moment. Is a shredded Flowerkraut and obviously normally shredded Thrig giving each other the arm shake with Timothy in the background, just being like, "What is happening?"
The Predator handshake has to.
Yes, the Predator handshake.
That's absolutely my fan art moment.
Which was hilarious when you brought it up because I was wearing my T-shirt that said "Dylan, you son of a bitch," and it has Arnold.
I can't believe that's a real thing that's happened.
Like doing the
I just realized something.
I sent a picture as proof that was what I was wearing. It was like Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger like doing the Predator handshake.
I just came to the realization that I now need that T-shirt because that's an awesome T-shirt.
I wrote it down to look it up on Amazon after you sent it because I'm like, I kind of need that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, and you know what's kind of fun? I just went to All Puppet Players last night for a Princess Bride puppet show.
How dare you?
Oh my God.
They said they might do a Predator puppet show.
Oh my God. 110% sold.
Yes. Chad's been trying to get me to go for about a year. So that would be the one that would get me.
The alien one was so funny. I would love the Predator one.
Yeah, we need to go.
Yes, absolutely. We would go.
It's fantastic. Yeah, they're great. They're great local performers. Very funny. Adults only, like pretty crude humor. It's wonderful.
Adult puppet show. That's all you need to know.
Yep. Ben, how's your setup, by the way?
Oh, it's good. It's good. You know, I've got a new setup, not like the last recording where I was in a closet and I hung a bunch of weighted blankets so there wouldn't be sound. Yeah, you know.
You got to do what you got to do, my dude. from the editing standpoint, I salute you for your ingenuity.
I wanted to have the quietest setup for you to edit. That was like the point. And I moved over into a different area of the house upstairs into a very far back corner away from where anyone could make noise downstairs or anyone in the house, and it would travel up here. And they're still weighted blankets, but they're mainly shoved under doors. So, but yeah, nice. No, it's pretty good. One day I will have access to back of my office for this again, which will be a good spot. But for now, this is pretty great.
And you found that magical Ethernet cable that just happens to run all the way to that room.
The people that used to live here before us were idiots, and it was like, DIY, why in the hell did you do this for most of it? And the other Ethernet port upstairs is next to the toilet. In the bathroom.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Like literally right now, and not even like right next to it, but like imagine like where the seat of a toilet would be, and then like a wall right next to it, like a foot away, and then 5 feet up there's an Ethernet port.
You know
what?
It's crazy to see houses the way they designed things before there was like Wi-Fi and everything was internet based, because like my house, they strung coaxial cable everywhere on the outside so that they could basically stretch it into just about every single room, so that, you know, you could get cable TV into all of these rooms. And it's like, we don't even need this shit anymore. Everything's internet based. So we just blast it through the router throughout the house, you know? So it's, I get it, you know, like there was something that was running off the Ethernet in that bathroom, but who knows what the hell it was. Maybe they were faxing people while they were on the toilet.
I don't need this. Don't need to know. By some of the other things.
The oldest form of poop texting I've ever heard of.
Poop text.
By some of the other things that we found in the house when we moved in, I have no interest of knowing what the last people lived here were doing.
Oh my gosh. So Joe and I had an adventure this week, by the way. If you guys want to have our own Eat Shit Rat, initiation, you're welcome to come over to my attic.
Oh no.
Yeah. So Joe and I were watching TV Wednesday night, and we hear just this huge crashing sound, and we're like, what the hell? And it goes on for like 30 seconds.
Eat shit.
So yeah, I go into Joe's office and I hear distinct footsteps like above our head. And I'm like, is somebody on a roof or in our attic or what's going on? I was freaking out. And so I reached out to my neighbor and I'm like, hey, do you see anybody on our roof or anything? And he's like, no. And I've been outside for an hour, like facing your roof. Like he was just sitting by his pool. He's like,
I've been staring at your house.
I've been staking out your house. I sent my wife up there.
I don't see anybody on your roof, but I do see.
Yes, in fact, I am the one that's on the roof.
I don't see anybody on your roof, but I do see you.
Yeah. So eventually it was like, because of the combination of sounds is like a very loud crashing and then the very distinct footsteps, Joe and I wound up calling the cops and they brought like 8 cops over and they did like the whole announcement, like, we know you're inside, and that whole spiel.
And then 3 rats came out with their hands up.
Eat shit. So they all just like kind of bunched underneath our attic. And they like stuck a little camera up there and looked around with that. And then a guy like stuck half his body up there and looked around. And they're like, yeah, we didn't see anybody. And we checked all over your house and outside and nobody's here. So it's all clear, but you do have rats. And I was like, sweet. So I've never been into my attic before because I don't want to see it. And I'm like, I was so confused because I'm like, I've heard rats before, and I've lived on the first floor of an apartment before where I've heard footsteps overhead. I know what thing that sounded like. So I'm like, I do not know what made that sound. So I'm like, I'm going to go in the attic. I'm not even scared anymore. I just want to look. I stuck my head up there, and I like almost shit myself. It is the scariest. I've never seen a scarier place. I could not go in further than sticking my head through.
Oh my God.
And I do not know how they got to see it with just a guy sticking half his body through. I have no idea how he was able to see through the whole thing, because when they said, I asked them, I'm like, okay, so you stuck partway through and looked around and you didn't see anybody. You could see all over the attic. And they're like, yeah. When I looked, I could not see all over the attic. There were twists and turns. There were like giant rolls of insulation foam. There were so many hidey spots. I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, the murderer can have it. I'm not going up there.
The police officer was going to shit himself, so that's why he didn't spend much time up there.
No, yeah, everything's fine. No, we're good. All right, everyone clear out.
I mean, there's that guy with the knife, but that's probably normal.
Yeah, you got rats,
like, okay.
as in,
you know what? Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, if you guys want to go on like an eat shit rat like initiation adventurer thing, come on over. We can do it. I mean, but yeah, the murderer can have that fucking scary ass attic because I'm not going up there.
You'll never catch me, copper. You can eat shit.
Have you heard it again?
No, thankfully not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys had like somebody come out for the rats?
No, but yeah, we were. This sounds horrible, but we're like, we should have someone come out for the rats and not tell them about the footsteps, the murderer that's up there.
I know that. Do you know if there's like a bunch of citrus trees around the neighborhood or anything like that? Because
there's not a ton, but there are a couple. There's a few around.
Okay, because like
they like to hang out in those.
Yeah, roof rats. They always warn people about picking up your fruit.
So yeah, I mean, they definitely saw rats, but I'm still confused about the noise.
Yeah, because what could have made a crashing noise?
Right.
The crashing and the footstep, yeah.
Well, if you ever are late to a recording session, I mean, we know why.
The rats got Janelle.
And you'll know I died preferring to die in my nice house as opposed to in the terrifying attic. So at least I'm somewhat happier about my situation.
The murderer came out this afternoon.
Suddenly, the murderer came out and recorded the podcast episode with us. It was, it was weird, but it was a fun change of pace.
I was going to say it was him who broke your microphone cable.
That dick.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Fucking guy.
It can't be a normal recording session unless we run into a slew of problems right before we're about to record. That's just a given.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And I checked out my stuff because I'm recording on a new computer. And Ben and I were reminiscing about our, closet situation. I used to record under like a pile of trash and like, yeah. So, I checked it a couple hours ahead of time. And then at the last second, the cable would not attach to my mic. It just kept slipping out.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad that it was the cable and not the port because I guess this new cable is working.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep, the other cable is working. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and I like how all our first solution was like, tape it in, rubber band it. And they were like, wait, do you have another cable? Like, that was option 2. Yeah. Option 1 was MacGyver the shit out of it. And option 2 was just
glue it in there. Make it permanent.
Option 3 is asking your roof rats to help you out,
Aw, that would be nice.
They're your on-site tech support.
Do you guys does he call up to the murderer and ask if he has a phone charger up there? Like, do you have a USB-C cable? Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's weirdly like there's oddly an Ethernet port up here.
Of course.
It's next to my toilet up here.
The crap out of here.
DIY the fuck is there an Ethernet cable here?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I mean, yeah, they did some wonky stuff at our place too. They made like this weird wooden bed thing, but it looked like a closet for guns. It was just so confusing.
Well, we do live where we live, so that's very possible.
Yeah, we live here.
And they put their Ethernet cables through a dog door, and I don't get it. So yeah, maybe I do have an Ethernet cable up there with a toilet and my murderer.
Man. Makes me think of like all the apartments I lived in where there was no Ethernet ports in walls. You just ran that stuff down hallways into different rooms. Mm-hmm. And then you like tried to tape it to make it covered. I don't know. It was terrible looking, but that was the only option you had because we didn't have Wi-Fi back then.
Mm-hmm.
My last apartment, I had a 50-foot cable going from one room to another, and I just wrote it along the walls as best as I could.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I like?
D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You don't need an Ethernet port for that, right?
Oh yeah, you do. The way we're playing, we definitely need Ethernet ports.
The way we did it, yeah.
Ah, crap.
So let's talk about the episode, guys.
Yeah.
Going back to the Feywild and kind of going back to where this story really began.
Yeah, wonderful run into a certain somebody that was our, like, was she our first, like, friendly NPC character? I think so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, Lily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was your first friendly NPC character if Jokan doesn't count.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Deceased.
Yeah, so...
Lily's pretty far away from us, isn't she?
Yeah, she would be pretty far.
That's right, because where we are in the Feywild is the same place.
It's like a mirror.
So there's the same amount of distance. And we don't freaking know, like... I don't think even our characters will know, like, yeah, we're 300, 500 miles away from someplace. Like, no, this freaking story arc just keeps popping us in random places on the map. We have no idea where we are half the time.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if she's being carried by
You're
a
exactly
Frode.
where you need to be. Confused. Thanks, Barkeep.
And Thrigg
Thank
teleported
you.
in from somewhere with the other giants and then went to the Feywild. He has no idea where he is.
Yeah, for a second I thought Thrigg was just like a summon. I'm like, oh man, I hope he doesn't get dispelled at any point.
Yeah.
No, so the storm giants coming down in the recording, in that looped recording that guy had left in Astrazalian. I keep screwing that up. He mentioned that there was a pact and that there was some kind of debt.
The Pact of the Mountain.
Yeah, there was something to be repaid. So essentially, it looked like they were cashing in on whatever favor they had made with the storm giants and summoning them in.
Well, before, when we just had the blood memory, I'm just like, man, these are some epic arrows. Where do I get a few of these?
Yeah, that's cool. Sapphire tipped arrow.
Oh no, that guy had a cool sword and I didn't grab it. Oh, I'm the worst thief.
You can grab the giant's tree branch. You want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Hold on, let me enhance ability on myself and get wicked bird jack.
Shredded bird.
jacked.
Sounds amazing.
Oh.
I guess that this was the episode to kind of introduce that this arc is heading into the Fae.
Sweet.
Didn't think we'd be back so soon, but I'm not mad about it.
Same here.
Yeah, like I didn't know if it was conveyed as well, but when Baba Yaga, communicated with Flowerkraut, there was, some urgency about you don't want to get caught by these sisters, and they're looking for you. They can hunt you down. They know where you are. They're scrying you. All these things about they're too powerful to deal with, and all they need is the motes that you guys carry. Essentially there's 3 hags and there's 3 motes.
We're gonna get hocus pocus. We need to get some salt
Oh,
and a talking cat.
Yeah.
Oh, we already have that, so we're good. We're halfway
You
there.
have the talking cat, yeah.
Perfect. Well, no, she popped, so
Oh,
we're fucked
man.
until I can summon Brandy again.
We shall fly to the night.
Oh, this is the first time Brandy got killed.
Oh yeah?
What was that killed her, by the way? Because you just said like this force.
A tree trunk. No, the eye. That's right.
Yeah, the eye thing.
This guy
yeah,
used
the psychic damage.
Yeah, he did an ability called Evil Eye.
Evil eye. All right, yeah.
I gave him
Eye.
the old evil eye.
Yeah.
You think Brandy would be all about that?
She absorbs it and uses it back.
Oh, Flowerkraut, that casting of protection of good and evil really clutch then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually that helped out, didn't it? Except that you got hit by it still, right?
Except he still got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he was evil. He was not neutral. He had evil eye. You can't be neutral and have evil eye.
No, it can't. It's just not how it works.
Yeah, that's fair. I have to say that I've been playing Baldur's Gate, and since I'm an Xbox user, it's been like pretty new experience for me. It has made so many things about D&D so much clearer to me.
Yeah.
Just because it has visuals.
Almost tangible, like you have a visual representation of something
It
now.
is,
Yeah.
I was curious if it would actually translate at all to the podcast, but I am noticing, like, even like after doing our Song of Rest from the last time, where I was talking about how as a new player, there's so much that I felt not confident about. Like, I wasn't sure about my decisions. I felt so much more decisive this episode.
That's awesome.
And
Good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Oh, it's such a good game.
Yeah, it's pretty magic.
What can't Larian do?
DLC.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I hope. You would hope.
I guess they can't
that's
do
not
that.
their fault.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
No,
sucks.
it was a joke. It's a perfect game. It doesn't need DLC. It doesn't mean I don't want it. I want the DLC, but it's a perfect game, so it doesn't need it, but I still want it. You know what I want? I want more, just add more weird like character races and like backgrounds to it. That's all I want. Just let me play more than just a Dragonborn. I need more weird things to be.
All the weird races. That's
I'm stuck as a human in real life. Let me be weird things in fantasy realm.
the only thing that game is
Maybe
missing.
like a centipede guy with mandibles.
You know, okay, so
Did you? Okay, so we made a centipede joke before we.
Yes.
I think before we started
Okay.
recording. Did you freaking throw that in because of our
course I
centipede?
did.
Okay, all right.
I was like, is that Ben?
Funny man.
I was laughing so hard because I was on mute. I'm like, I wonder if they think that's me.
Yes, I did think that was you 100%. That's why I toasted at him.
And then like a couple times, like you guys were out in the bar in the story arc. I'm like, I just look around to see if the other patrons are here. I'm like, they're looking for me.
Yeah, I look around to see if there's another
I
friendly
am.
face to add to the
like
party.
So funny.
Anybody of interest to me that wants to come up to me and join my party?
Would you like to adventure with us?
Is there
Excuse me.
Is there any NPC with a first and last name in here? Because that's the only way they're actually part of the game,
Oh,
right?
right? Yeah, that's true.
Oh, this one's model is so different from the standard models. That's
Yeah.
definitely a
That's
playable
definitely
character.
a playable character. That's a companion character for sure.
Centipede, the freaking
Yeah, that guy's got
centipede
high
guy.
resolution face. I think he's a playable character.
His outfit's ridiculous. He's definitely a
Actually,
character.
that's one of the things that I was thinking about. It was really kind of neat to kind of sit here on mute and listen to you guys record for a bit and go through that, because so much of the podcast and my time as a listener, I'm always constantly thinking about like the story arc and like how it works. And you guys have actually hardly ever been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that
it's true.
it didn't really hit me until this episode of like, oh, because I guess a lot of times the holiday episodes stick out in my head a lot when I think about
yeah.
which I think makes sense. And the story arc is a big part of those. But then like when you talk about the canon episodes, like you guys have never actually been there. So when you guys were like back, like just now, did it feel like you'd spent a lot of time there, or it felt like a place that you'd never really been?
It was hard to role play that we hadn't been there so often.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially given the context of when they are there. And I think Aaron helped me sum it up, at least when I was trying to describe it, where it's just like, it's a weird, stark contrast from the jovial, warm nature of the story arc, and that's like a constant, versus what Flowerkraut and Timothy have gone through. And it was hard to like get into that mindset, because every time we've been in the story arc, they've been non-canonical episodes where we're just right out the gates jovial, and we know it's going to be a fun time because they're the holiday episodes. So we're already just like, let's slide on bar stools and get drunk. Whereas this was like, we've lost people and we just fought a dragon and we don't know what's happening with the hags. And so it was a weird, I find it a little difficult to, in that moment, to be like, no, the story arc's not a fun place right now.
Yeah.
It's not a fun
And
place.
it hasn't been either in the beginning too, because like there was Adristia, we like first learned about the hags at that time. Like, so yeah,
we thought we drowned. We thought we were dead, and like on like the ferryman's boat on the way to the the first Avernus or some shit. Like we didn't know.
See, I felt the weight of that this time, because the last time I recorded with you guys was a holiday episode, right? And that was the first thing out of the gate.
Yeah.
I'm a goblin drinking puke out of a bucket named Bucket, and we're making dumb jokes.
Back off, bird.
And
I'm glad we threw in a little bit of Bucket into this episode.
I'm glad he's not.
So some pretend
Glad he
bucket.
didn't get
Yeah.
eaten by Brandy. But
I was waiting for Aaron to reveal that under the bed was a freaking dead goblin.
Yes, I was
I was like, dang, Aaron, this is dark.
it's like, no, Ben, you can't play Bucket ever
What are you
again.
going to throw out next? An entire city of dead people?
Can I
Yeah, you
remind you that Cthulhu's are evil?
I mean, yeah, it's fair. She could have left a dead. I was kind of expecting it, like dead goblin. Like,
all of a sudden you bust out like, I'm so full. I'm like, oh shit.
Like, oh no.
So Flower Crown, I need you to constantly cast protection from good and evil because of your cat.
Oh no! I need it all the time on Timothy for Brandy.
So what I was saying though is like I felt like the difference, right? Because I wasn't participating at that point, but like the difference in tones and demeanors and just like even the barkeep was like, oh, this is heavy
and straight to business.
And it was way different. Yeah, it was good. It was for, you know, still being a listener at that point. It was I thought it was great. I thought you guys did a wonderful job living in that moment.
I found it funny, and it was hard for me to like not be cackling in the background. Just the idea that Flowerkraut's sitting there watching another band of newbie heroes get initiated with the eat shit rats.
Yes.
And then realizing I'm like, this son of a bitch has done this to multiple groups of people.
This is the way.
So funny.
Oh, and then I felt bad because Flowerkraut was actually so rude to Chitin too.
Oh, poor Chitin.
Because you put the do not disturb freaking thing on the door.
Ah, shit! I'll get rid of him. Fuck off, Chitin.
I don't want to clean. Here's your gift, ass. Fine, what the fuck?
He like left it on the floor and scurried away. I felt so bad.
Don't worry. I'll give him another gold piece next time we're there. I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have any gold. What are you talking about?
And he still doesn't remember your name.
Oh, and we had a lot of or Flowerkraut had a lot of elderly blast in this episode. And this was one more thing I wanted to say about Baldur's Gate is now elderly blast is like the default, that it's like a fart. So it's like whenever Will does it or something, and like, like it's just
Will's farting.
He's farting. Like, and I in my mind, my brain makes the fart noise when it shoots across too.
Giving him the stink finger.
The blade of flatulence.
Conjunctivitis. Yeah, I love the idea of Thrigg seeing that for the first time, and he's seen like a lot of combat and like fight, and then just like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like, what's this? What's this? It was just like Brandy and farting old lady and Bird.
God. Yeah.
Bird trying to summon Bane with muscles, but Bane gets destroyed.
Oh my God,
Poor
Bane getting immediately destroyed was so funny to me. It's like, no, that's my best move.
The reverse Batman.
Yeah.
I wanted to also kind of paint the picture of what Astrazalian really is in Archipelagia, because like when you guys went to the Fae before, you went in a very unconventional way. Like you you went down into a tomb where there was like a pretty weak Fae-line connection, and it took Lily's connection to the Fae for it to even work, you know? But now you've got this elven city that has like an active portal that leads to the Fae. And so this isn't something you find all over the place. There's only a couple places in the entire world where you can just step from one plane into the other. And so that's kind of where it comes that the hags had to assault Astrazalian and to basically come into the material plane. You know, this is where it all began. This is where their plan started. They were going to, you know, attack this city, use the wellspring, step into the world of Archipelagia, and then commence the destruction and like the prime star thing, everything. And so this is kind of a glimpse as to where it all began, now where it is, and it's been a while. So that's why there's nothing left in the city. You guys walk through this empty battlefield, and now to find out what's left in the Fae, you know, and also, you know, like, are the hags able to what are the hags thinking? Like, are they able to scry that you've gone to the Fae? Do they know what your intentions are. Do they care what your intentions are? Because if you've left that plane of existence, they can just go about whatever they're going to do. So lots of questions out there to be answered later in Arc 3.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, the way you described, or like how we kind of pseudo were described this city, and I don't know if anybody else will remember this, but the Silver City in the second Neverending Story.
Oh yeah.
Where like the water was like, I think acid or something. So like everything was just like super clean and pristine and shiny. It was like the first thing that popped into my brain.
Ooh. Yeah, I do remember that.
That's a deep cut using Neverending Story.
It's
part
like
2.
everything, if I remember correctly, it's like it's
Part
glass
2.
and it's silver. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a gorgeous city.
There's no corners. There's nowhere to hide.
Oh yeah, when you're describing it all smoothed out and like repeating, I'm like, oh, it's AI art.
No, we gotta get out of here.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of illusion.
Oh, nothing has the correct amount of fingers.
Only adding to Timothy's freak out session he was having
that
at
was
the time.
great.
I wasn't expecting to be screaming as much this episode, but it just felt right.
It was time for a good old classic Timothy freak out.
It's been a while.
I really loved how you painted the picture of the place because it seemed like it was gorgeous, but that everything around it was inside of it was ugly. Like it was just like this city of beauty with just this nastiness that had happened inside. And it like
This absolute Castlevania style massacre just all over the place.
Totally. And it painted a pretty awesome picture of like where we were. I thought that was really cool. I also really do like the moment where Thrig's in there and he's broken the gem and you go and you fix the gem and he's like, well, I have to break that. It's like, I'm here to break that. So I guess I better break that one too. Thanks for bringing it. Dumbass.
Ooh, should we talk about our fan art moments?
Ooh. It might just have to be Flower Crouch shredded. It's the Predator handshake.
Is that everybody's? That's the one.
So funny.
Yeah, that one was kind of hard to beat. It was the whole setup was really funny, and it was the best payoff. Especially you texting our group chat mid-recording, be like, "Hold on, I'm wearing this shirt."
It's the funniest thing.
So funny.
Yeah, that was so great.
And that was our fan art segment of the show. It's like everyone just agrees. Yep, that's it.
That's the one.
I think if I had to pick like a non-funny one, just from like an artsy perspective, I think them standing in front of the, like when they're in the corridor, like between the ether, like in the stream or I forget what the term was for it, but like when they were looking
the well?
at them, in the well, but like stuck in the in-between. And then like having their reflections reflect onto the Feywild side. I just like that. I think that'd be like really cool in an artsy sort of way.
Yeah, that is cool.
For a non-funny one, I actually would pick Timothy putting the stuff on the other bed to designate that this is Sherman's spot.
Oh,
that made me sad. I was like, oh.
That made me sad saying it. I was like, oh my God, why did I do that? It made myself sad.
I have this image of Timothy like neatly arranging stuff on the bed and just being like, hey, this is yours, buddy. Like that. Oh, that gets me.
Oh, yeah. I actually do also have one that is just because I enjoy doing like item design. We have like several pretty neat items now that I'm interested in drawing, like the orichalcum knives, the daggers.
Oh yeah.
And then now the jingle bell wand,
The jingle bell wand. You need to stop. We're stealthing.
You need to stop.
He grabs it out of her hand. You need to stop shaking this thing.
Stop shaking it. Ding, 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 ding,
I'm
ding,
not
ding, ding.
trying to. Timothy's like louder. It makes sense. And then even like the arrows, the like sapphire tipped arrows, pretty sweet.
Oh, those would be cool. Yeah.
You should also draw Thrig's axe.
Yes, Thrig's axe, the bone with the piece of metal stuck through is really cool.
We finally have our barbarian axe for the logo. It came full circle.
Yes.
So funny. I was thinking about that yesterday because that's the coaster that's on my desk for work.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, hey, look, that me.
It you.
I am so excited about the new designs we've got. The druid, the rogue, and the paladin ones. So
Yes.
good.
I'm wondering if we're gonna be at Fan Fusion prior to this episode coming out. You think so?
I'm fairly confident this is going to come out after Fan Fusion for us.
Yes.
Cool. So hopefully everyone will have seen the new designs
Yeah.
and gotten to check out some merch. So now we have a little bit
Yeah.
more variety for everybody.
We're going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion and Tucson Comic-Con, but because this is going to come out after one of those, I guess we'll probably have to do some sort of announcement post. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you stop by the booth, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. On behalf of Future Us, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah. And if this for some reason you're hearing this before one of them, because you might hear it before Tucson, we'll be in the game rooms.
Ooh.
Yeah, Gamer Hall. It's come by and see us if you live in Tucson, and it's always a good time. We love hearing from folks who have listened to the podcast.
Tucson's my favorite one. So if you hear this and you're in Tucson, you're my favorite too.
Nice. That was a good one.
Yeah, Tucson's like, if you're just in like, I don't know, the general area, if you're in Arizona, Tucson's just a really cool show to check out.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Janelle and I had our introvert walk on the show floor because we both wanted to go see Michael Biehn, but not actually talk to him. And so we just like very slowly kind of crept as close as we could to him, and then until he turned and looked directly at us, and we scampered away. So that was a yeah.
I would like scamper away giggling.
Yeah, like he did. He knew what we were doing. He looked right at us, and he was like, he's talking to someone else. We're like, all right, cool, we did it. We saw him. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. We had Game On Expo in Arizona, and magically somehow had the like premiere showing of the Baldur's Gate people in Arizona.
Did you get to go?
Yeah, I went.
Oh, like when I found out that they were at Game On, I was so upset that I didn't go.
So bummed.
Same.
Oh no.
I would have gone.
Man, it would have been nice if we had a friend that cared about us.
Oh
Yeah.
man. I thought for sure you guys would have known. I'm so sorry I didn't mention it.
Did you go meet them?
I met some of them, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's so
That's
cool.
Awesome.
Now, I will say it was kind of rough, at least if you were wanting to go check some things out, because I went on a Friday and I heard it was much worse the rest of the weekend. I went into Neil Newbon's line as soon as I got to the convention, and I stood in that line until half an hour before they were going to close.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Yeah. So that was rough. It was 5.5 hour wait.
Oh my gosh.
But thankfully, you know, you start befriending people in line. We had an amazing like Karlak cosplayer. Yeah, so we were holding each other's places so we could go off and like kind of do something. But you know, you don't want to stay away too long. You don't want to like impose on people.
Yeah.
But I did get to go into Devora Wild's line. Hers only took 20 minutes. And then I went into Jennifer Hale's line, Commander Shepard.
Nice.
So that was awesome. I was so stoked. Hers was very quick too. So another like 20 minutes.
Such a great voice actress.
Yeah.
Was it your favorite line at Comic-Con?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was my favorite line in the Comic-Con. But yeah, Neil Newbon was like, I was exhausted, but I would actually say it was worth the wait. He was very nice and cool.
I was gonna say, if you tell me that he was mean, I'm gonna make sure Chad deletes that part of the podcast because I don't want to believe it. There's no way he's mean.
He was delightful.
Yeah.
I drew a picture from like his gaming stream that he's been doing of Baldur's Gate, and he had a really good laugh. I'm just like, this makes me so happy.
And it's also really nice that he was that pleasant and wonderful even after that many hours of seeing people.
No kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I remember years
and he
ago.
just had to keep doing more of it.
Even after you're gone, he's got to keep going. But I remember years ago, I was at I think it was Anime Expo, and I was in line to see Steve Bloom, and he doesn't rush people through his line. He wants to treat all of his fans.
He is one of the nicest people I have ever met.
Nice.
And so he literally, like, they were like, oh, we're going to close this lineup. And he was like, no, don't close that list lineup. I have people in this line. And they're like, yeah, but you've got a flight to catch. And he goes, I'll move my flight.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
And
That's
so
amazing.
he could see everybody. Yeah. I love it when you get those kind of celebrities, those kind of voice actors that will put in the time for their fans.
It's one of those meet your heroes, and it was everything you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what made it worthwhile waiting in the line is like you knew once you got up there, like you were going to be given like, you know, the full attention and everything. Like he spent a good amount of time with each person, which was very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never met a celebrity that was rude, but there's so many horror stories out there.
Yeah.
And I've hardly met any celebrities anyway, so.
Same here. That was probably like just the biggest cluster of them in my life.
Well, guys, maybe it's time to wrap this one up.
All right.
Awesome.
Wrap it up in your big muscly arms.
Ben, thank you for officially joining.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big, blue, beefy boy.
Oh, get some thrig.
I'm glad to be here. I think he's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to play more with you guys.
Oh my God, wait. One of the fan art should absolutely be a picture of Thrig. What the heck?
Well, it is. It's Thrig's beefy arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's fair. That's fair. It's just the arm. You don't even see like the full bod.
It's a big arm. It's a big arm.
Thrig, you son of a bitch.
He's 7 feet tall.
Thrig is so big, we never fully see him in
God.
a full frame.
Oh,
He's always
I
cut
love that
off.
He's
idea.
out of
He's
frame
always
every
out of
time.
frame.
Oh my God.
Yes. And the joke was Ben was like, because Thrig's power is he doubles in size. It's Ben's like, I want to grow to 15 feet. I know I'm 7 feet. I'm supposed to grow to 14, but I want to grow to 15 because it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's Thrig, and he wants to be as tall as possible. So he's like stretching that extra foot.
Oh my gosh.
He's got that chip on his shoulder because even at 15 feet he was the little guy among the giants. So I can't escape being short, no matter if I'm playing a role-playing character, if I'm me.
I think any shots of the group going forward, I want Thrig like in the back, like with like his arms crossed over his chest, and like it cuts to about like his beard, but you don't see the rest of it.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
I support that.
what is that? Cow and chicken rules and
Yes.
peanuts rules? You like never see the face of the parental figures.
Yes. All of the art of Thrig, we don't see his face.
Oh my gosh.
Even his character card, he's cut off at the chin.
Oh my gosh. That's
Okay,
amazing.
so we're gonna do the standard run where it is his face because I really want to draw this character, but we're gonna do a run where he's cut off.
Yes.
Those are the
I love
promo
it.
cards. Those are the special promo cards.
I support
I
that.
love it.
I support that.
Those are our shiny holographic editions of Thrig.
All right.
Oh gosh. And then
The beefcake edition.
so you come this year to Tucson Comic Con, you get the half cut off card. You come next year, you get the top half of the card.
And then you can put them together.
Top half of the card. You put them together.
Yes. Perfect.
Well, and if he rages, you need 4 cards to get all
exactly.
three.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh
That's right.
yeah, that's true.
All right, guys. Thanks again for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our Song of Rest. If you like the adventures your ears just went on, feel free to listen in on our other adventures from any plane of existence or seeing stone you get your podcasts. Until we meet again, safe journeys, travelers.